Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to go ahead and do a Windows 7 CTF machine that I built several years ago, I believe now, but some of it is still relevant until today. So we're going to go ahead and compromise it and do some cool things. So if you guys are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, and share. Want to see some more Windows hacking? Let me know in the comments. And also, if you want this Windows 7 VM, I have it as an OVA. So if you're interested in taking this and putting it in your own lab, just comment, I want VM, or just reach out to me on whatever, LinkedIn or Instagram, and just, like the video and share it if you can. That would be awesome. All right. So let's get back to our Kali machine. So I want to go ahead. I don't know that IP address because I have DHCP. So what we're going to do first, I want to see what IP and subnet I'm on my Kali machine with just doing an IPA. And we're on my Ethernet is ETH0 on this machine, and my IP address is 192.168.100.128. So we know we're going to be in this 100 network, okay? So a tool I use is NetDiscover. So NetDiscover for the interface that we want to do, which is ETH0, and -R for range, which is 192.168.100.0/24. Whoops, I have to do this as root. My bad. All right, let me put my fancy password. Okay. Oh, if I can spell correctly. It is early in the morning here, so ETH0. So now this is going to go ahead and send out an ARP request on that network. And the only two machines that are on is obviously my Windows 7 machine in my lab and my Kali machine. So we should be good here. We can take this and then paste it. If this is in a larger environment, I do this on a real engagement too. I always do an ARP scan to see what's actually live at that specific moment. So it stayed the same. So it's 192.168.100.133. So I'm going to make a quick note of that. That's fine. And I'm just going to make a quick note. Ignore the stuff up there because this is it's for the same lab because I was teaching this recently, so figured I'd just make a quick video on it. So now the next thing we can do is we can do an Nmap scan, right? Obviously, this is something I do. So let's just, let me just do the unpracticed of running everything as root, right? I'm just going to go ahead and just copy my my commands here just so I can. And then my Windows 7 machine, 192.168.100.131. And let's see what's up. Oh, I didn't really have to do sudo, but it's all good. So what this is doing is saying, okay, I want to ignore ping. It's going to do a port scan for every single port. I'm going to go ahead and kill this because obviously I know what ports that I want to do. I taught this inside of the class, so I figured I'd just do it again. But for the simplistic, for this video, to make it simple, we're going to do just these SMB ports. So let me do that. And let me go ahead and run this. And what this is going to do is just do like an OS fingerprint. It's going to do plus the SMB specific ports, or the focus ports. And we can see here that these ports are open, right? So we can take it a step further and actually run like SMB, OS discovery, and all this stuff. But we're going to do a script scan, which is from Nmap. Let me go ahead and paste that command here. And let's put that IP address in here, 192.168.100.131. Okay, so we can see here that it has SMB v1. This is no bueno, right? So this is telling me, give me more of a approach to attack this machine, right? So next we can go ahead and see if it's susceptible to Eternal Blue, which is MS1710010. So let's go ahead and do that here. 192.168.100.131. I'm just going through all the steps before we actually run Metasploit and actually get on the machine, just so you guys can see the process. And this is just for my notes. So right here, you can see that SMB vuln MS17010 is vulnerable. Remote code execution vulnerability in Microsoft SMB1 servers. So it is vulnerable, right? So now we could take this a step further. Let me just go ahead and open up a new tab. Let me just go ahead and SU. Okay. So now we can do MS console, MSF console dash Q for quiet. I don't want to have it all. So once it's ready, you can just give me the prompt, and we'll give that a moment. So once that is ready, we can also do this really quick while that's cooking. Let's go ahead and copy this, and we can also use search exploit, and then MS170, and search exploit is like searching on exploit.db. So this is pretty much giving you the same information that it would give you out there. And you can see that it is going to be exploitable, right? We can get these Python scripts. We can go out to exploit.db and check that as well. So now we can just do search here. And we can search it right here as well in Metasploit. And we can see the exploit is right here, 0. And it says checked yes, Eternal Blue, SMB remote Windows kernel pull corruption. So let's use 0 for this case. Use 0. All right. So now we're going to use this exploit within Metasploit to attack our Windows 7 machine. So the first thing we do is show options here, and we have to fill in some blanks, right? The R host, we need to put the R host here. So let's go ahead and set R host 192.168.100.131. Okay. We can do show options again to make sure that actually took, and it did, and we are golden there. The next thing we can do, we can set the target as well. See how it says automatic target? We can actually set that. So we can just do show targets. And we can see that right now it's on automatic. So we can set Windows, we can set set target 1, right? So now if we do show targets, or show options, we can see down here the target is Windows 7, okay? And also we can do show targets. That's what I meant to do, but my hand went to. So now we can see the exploit targets is Windows 7 here, okay? Now the last thing we can do is run or exploit. Let's just run exploit. And now we'll try to get a session. And once it gets a session, we can actually see what's on that machine. And now it's using the buffer overflow attack that's actually going to compromise that machine. And it's sending a stage right now. And now we have an interpreter shell. Okay. So now if we just do help, if we never used this tool before, we can run help and we can go up, and we're not going to go through every single, command here. But you can see here, you can background a session. You can, you can have an alias for background. You can kill a background interpreter, and you can see a lot of different options here. The cool ones, oh man, my nose is itchy. So you can get the system. Let's go ahead and copy get system. And right now we're running as system. So we are pretty much King Kong on this machine. We can take a screenshot. Let's go ahead and take a screenshot really quick. And this is cool if you need to have evidence. So now this screenshot saved to here. So let's go ahead and copy this. And actually we can just go out to Open Explorer, Patrick, and then right here is the file. So we can double click this and we can see the screenshot that it took. And this is good for evidence that it shows that in your report, you were able to compromise, you're able to show that proof of concept there with that exploit. Okay, so what else can we run here? Before we dump the hashes and all that stuff, so we can get the sysinfo as well. And you can see it's John's PC. It's on a work group. It's Windows 7, 64-bit, yada, yada, yada. And if you have like any kind of WAV file, you can play an audio file on the target. You can record their mic. You can start a video session. You can list their webcams if they have webcams attached to their laptop or PC. But obviously this is a VM, so there's nothing like that in there. And then if you want to dump the keystrokes buffer, everything like, like a keylogger, send keystrokes. But the one that we're going to focus on, if we come all the way up here, maybe I went too far, sorry. So the password database commands. So we can do a hash dump. We can dump the SAM database that's on that machine. So let's go ahead and paste that. And that gives us the administrator, guest, and John. So we can go ahead and copy this for our notes. Let's copy this. And this is an NTLM hash. And I already have it here, as you can see, but I'll do it again here. Okay, so let's just bring this all the way up so we can focus on what we have here, not what we did before. So this is the new stuff. All right, so this is our Windows 7 machine. We have this hash. So let's just go ahead. There's multiple ways to do this. We're going to go ahead and go online first. I just want to show multiple tools in this video. Sometimes this doesn't work. Sometimes it does work. There's a site called CrackStation. So let's go ahead and just go out there, crackstation.net. And you can just plug this in here, the hash there, and then I'm not a robot. Motorcycles, this is a motorcycle, this, I believe that. I think that's it. No? Bridges? I think that's a bridge, that's a bridge, that's a bridge, that's a bridge. I think that's it. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and try to crack this hash. And, oh, I think I did did I do the admin? Sorry, I meant to do John's. Let's do John's hash. Okay, let's crack that. Okay, so you can see the results. The results are right there, right? So that's the password, ALQFNA22. So now we can take this and paste it into our notes, which I have up here, John, and then the password. So now we can try to, if it had RDP open, we can try to RDP to it and all that stuff, right? So there's another way to crack it with HashCat, right? So we can use HashCat. And if you don't know HashCat, it's an awesome tool. So you can go to hashcat.net/wiki, and you can see all the examples in here. I love to use this. I think it's quicker when I actually search in here versus going to hashcat-help. So if I do a Control F and I type in LNTLM, we can see here, what it's awesome here is it gives us the mode. It gives us the name of the hash and an example of the hash, right? So here we know we just need the NTLM portion. Say, for example, if you put V2, you can see here, this is like the version 2, how to, what to grab when you're dumping hashes. Like maybe you got something from Responder or something like that, but that's not in this video. So the NTLM is 1000, right? So that's the mode. So this is what we're going to focus on right now to try to crack that hash. Right? I already cracked it, but I want to walk you through the steps. All right, so let's come back here. All right, so now we can do HashCat. And we can see, that's not really what I want to do right here. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure I have that hash here. And let me go into class labs. And John's hash is right here. So let's go ahead and cat John hash.txt. And here's his hash right here. Okay. So what we're going to do now is going to do hashcat -m, and it's me 1000, right? So, and then we have to have the hash file. So it's going to be John hash.txt. And then we need like a rocku.txt or whatever. But I believe I made a word list, class word list. So I want to use this class word list just for simplistic sake. And it's going to start cracking. And we'll see what it does. We'll give it a moment. I believe the password is in there. I believe so. I should have checked before, but let's give this a moment. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not in that one. Give me 1 sec. Let me cancel this. And let me check. Class. No, this is a different word list. I'm sorry. Let's do ls again. John info, ntlm, hashes. So passwords, maybe it's on the passwords. No, which one was it? Was it just like user? Let me just go exit here. And let's do HashCat. So, okay, so it was on RockU. Okay, cool. Sorry, I do a million things, so I apologize. So if you just do it without show, you can see that no hash is loaded. There is a hash in there, but I want to go ahead and just do -- show. No hash is loaded. This is weird. John's hash. So you know what I'm going to do? I want to go ahead and let's go ahead and copy this command. And let me go ahead and just do the sudo u. Oh. All right, let me go ahead and paste that back in here. And no hash is loaded. There is a hash in there though. Oh, you know why? I'm an idiot. I'm stupid. Sorry. Here's this hash. Okay. Dumb me. Okay, so now it'll work. It is 8:30 in the morning. So excuse me for not paying attention. All right, so we'll give this a moment. This is why, like, when you have to start working at super early in the morning, sometimes I'm like, man, how does people do that? But anyhow, technically I start when I do my work, I start at like 9 a.m. I wake up, do my routine, and then, so I'm actually doing this video earlier than I actually start work. So my brain is not completely functioning yet. So anyhow, so right here we have, whoops. So right here we have the password that we were able to crack. So technically we can use this and try to authenticate to it. And that's pretty much it, right? So with the Metasploit, that gave us access to the machine. We already own this machine. We already compromised the machine. We can tell the client, hey, like, we have access. You know, we're not going to upload malware, do any of that crazy stuff. We have access. Go ahead and make sure you update your Windows 7 to the latest and greatest thing, and you can advise them as that. But that is pretty much it for today. Again, if you want this ISO file or this, OVA file, I can put it into a Google Drive. Just reach out to me. I will let you download it, and you can play around with it yourself, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.